as soon as you hit OK.
Okay. And there we are. So I think we're on. Let me just make sure that everyone can hear me. People, if you hear me, whoever's on here right now, just give me a yes, you hear me. I'm waiting for the video to come up. We always get the delay in here, so probably about 30 seconds from now we'll see my video. I see E. Burr is online. I don't know who else is online. So I'm not getting any comments yet, but hopefully we'll get some soon. Can everyone hear me? Check, check, check. 1, 2.
Okay.
I'm just checking to make sure everyone can hear me. Okay.
You're on. Sound is on.
And here we are. So my first question is from E. Burke. So let's start off here with E. Burr. Enjoy your contribution to the Dice Tower. What's the oldest shrink wrap game in your collection? And do I see myself as a player or collector? Probably my oldest shrink wrap game. I'm not sure because many of my older games are not shrink wrapped. All of my old Avalon Hill games, all of my old Mayfair games from back in the day, like the original Settlers of Catan, none of those are shrink wrapped. So it's a lot of newer games that, you know, I might have played Tom's copy, so I haven't unwrapped my copy that are shrink wrapped. It's not that. I'm thinking my oldest shrink wrap game might be about 6 years old. I don't really have older shrink wrap games because most of them I've played over the years when I had different game groups. So, and yeah, of course, I consider myself both a player and a collector. I obviously have a big collection of games, but I also play a lot of games, and playing is what makes it fun. Collecting is just, oh, look at all these games. And what's good about having a good collection at my house is, like yesterday, for example, I had people over on New Year's Day, and they were like, wow, any game we want to play, and every game was there, so they got to play everything. Let me go to the next question. Let me scroll back up here. Any chance we will get a Star Wars themed Command and Colors game? I hope so. I mean, the closest thing we have, if you think about it, is Star Wars Queen's Gambit, which is basically a Star Wars themed Command and Colors game. So we already have something like that. I know it's out of print, but if you're looking for that, Star Wars Queen's Gambit is one I'd highly recommend. Great game. Star Wars Risk is kind of like the baby version of it, which is also good, but not nearly as good. I would still hunt down Queen's Gambit if I was you. Let's see what we have here. What are my thoughts on the new Mega Civ and would I consider it at Dice Tower Con? I just got Mega Civ. I like it. I like Civ as a game, and I think Mega Civ is a worthy expansion. It's interesting because when I saw the demo copy at Essen, the board wasn't mounted and the cards were kind of really bad quality. And then I realized that the demo copy they were showing up there wasn't the actual final package, because when I got the package, it had a mounted board. The cards are much nicer printed than we saw in the upstairs, and it's a great game. What's cool about the new version is you don't have to play the full game, and you don't have to play with 18 players. You could play a short game with 5 players, a 2-hour version of it. You don't have to play the full game, and that's one advantage that it has over original Civ. Is original Civ you had to play the full game every time. In this one, you could do a shorter game if you just want a taste of it, and I hope that people will try it and get a taste of it, because it is still a really good expansion game of the build and expand and build up like a tech tree. It was the first game that did the tech tree, and I think it will hopefully bring back more of that Civ tech tree kind of game. How big was my collection when I moved to Florida? Was it bigger than my present one? Yes. As Tom and Z and Sam all know, they helped me. I don't even know how many boxes I had. I had, you know, those U-Haul makes those giant wooden crate things that you kind of like pods, but they're the U-Haul pods. They're made out of wood. They're these giant, I want to say they're like 6 foot long by 3 feet wide or something like that. I had 3 of those completely filled and stuffed with boxes of games. Well, they were in other boxes, obviously, but I had, I don't know, 100 boxes in each one filled with games. So that was my collection before this, because I've been collecting for 20, 30 years. So that was my collection before. And then we added, you know, I've added games over the last couple of years since I've been here in Florida, but most of my collection is probably older things than newer things, even though I have a lot of newer things too. Okay. How many games do I own? And how do I afford them? Well, I know we always talk about my job. I actually work for Univision. It's the national television network. I used to work for ABC a few years ago, so I used to do things like Dick Clark's New Year's Eve and Good Morning America and World News Tonight with Charles Gibson and Peter Jennings before that. And I used to do a lot of that. I do graphic design, and I did it for ABC for many years, where I made very, very good money. Now I'm working for Univision. I also make very good money, because the TV industry actually pays very well, and I'm very blessed to be able to do something like that. And that's, I don't spend my money on going to bars or things that other people spend their money on. So instead, I look at it as all that alcohol money that I'm not spending it on. Instead, I get to spend it on games, which gives me just as much, if not more, enjoyment than hanging out at bars and things like that. So it's all a preference of what you spend your money on, and I like to spend it on games and have a nice collection, have people over and play games with them, and I think it's a great way to spend your money. And as well, how many games do I own? I don't know exactly. We haven't counted, but I'd say 3,000 or 4,000 at least. I don't know. We're talking about possibly getting Guinness to come over and look at my collection, because I guess the guy who officially has the Guinness record has 1,500 games, and they're all like versions of Monopoly or, all those old Parker Brothers, 8 is Enough, the game. The guy who has it as a weird collection. It's all TV themed games and things like that, and games from the 70s and 80s. So my collection is very different, obviously, and is more of the modern board gaming hobby, game collecting. And one day I think we're going to do that and bring Guinness by and set a new record. And then we'll find out exactly how many games I have, because it'll be in Guinness one day. Am I looking forward to the marathon, and what game am I most looking forward to playing? Yes, very much looking forward to the marathon. We're going to have a blast out here. And the game I'm most looking forward to, I think at this point, Time's Up. Time's Up is now like our tradition game. We always have a laugh with it. Everyone at home watching it has a laugh with it. And I think Time's Up is the game that I prefer the most, and I will enjoy that part of it. We have Eric coming down this time, which is great, because he doesn't get to join us as much for the gaming. We play games with him at conventions, but we don't see him all the time, so it's nice that he's going to come down for this and spend the time with us as well during the marathon. And it's going to be great. I hope that you guys all watch it, join us, and even if you can't stay up for the whole thing, stay up for parts of it and watch us. It's going to be on Thursday coming up, this coming Thursday, like a few days from now, at 10 in the morning we're starting, 10 in the morning Eastern time. So those of you in Europe, you'll be in your afternoon. Those of you here in California or the West Coast, it'll be early morning, but we're starting at 10 a.m. on Thursday, and we're looking forward to everyone joining us for that, and hopefully you guys have a good experience this time as well. Just a comment from John that he loves my increased presence, and thank you. It's been a good year, and I was telling Tom how I'm just glad to be part of this and get to do more and more things, and that most people out there like you guys like what I'm doing and are interested in what I'm doing. So it's been a good experience all around, and I'm very happy to be part of this. And those things I said on that designer spotlight last week, I meant it all, and it's great to have a community to share everything with. I've been doing this for a long time, and now I finally get to share some of my experiences and my gaming tastes and other things with people at home, and I'm glad that it aligns with some people. I mean, I know there's Euro gamers out there, so they get a chance to hear from me about Euro games and other things. I hope that my video blogs have given you a good experience where you got to see inside of some of the conventions and see what we do at conventions and all the work and all the behind the scenes. And, I'm just glad to give you guys good content. How did I meet Tom? That's a good question. I moved to Florida about 4 months after Tom, and I was in a game group in New York. I gamed with a whole bunch of people that you guys have probably heard of. Mike Fitzgerald was one of the people in my game group. He designed many of the mystery rummies. He designed Wyatt Earp. He just recently designed Baseball Highlights that came out this year. And when I was moving down to Florida, Mike said, hey, I know some people who game down in Miami. There's this guy, Tom Vassell. You should get in touch with him. And I had never actually seen any of Tom's reviews, even heard of Tom.
Boo!
Tom's booing in the background. I had never even heard of him, which is kind of funny. And I got in touch. I said, hey, I hear that you play games. Let's get together and play games. And we met at that really dirty store that we always talk about, the one that's not very good. We met there because that was where the gaming was at that time. And Tom's like, hey, I've got Command and Colors Napoleonics. I think it just had come out. And he's like, do you want to play it? And I'm like, sure. And then we had a good time. And as you know, from then on, it's been, now 5.5 years of gaming together, doing things outside of gaming together, and just having all around good times. How do I end up with many copies of the same game? I actually don't. I know it's a big running joke that we have about me having multiple copies of a game. There's only a few games that I actually have multiple copies of. And they were games that I really, really, really like, and that the cards get worn, because I don't sleeve my cards. I know that people were joking on my review of Food Chain Magnate that why were the cards sleeved, but that was actually my friend Tony's copy that I used for it. So my games I don't actually sleeve. And so a game like Seven Wonders, because it got reprinted with different symbols on the bottom. I had the original version, I bought the second edition. And my second edition got a little worn, so I bought a second copy of the second edition. So I have 3 copies of Seven Wonders, the original and 2 of the second edition. But usually I don't buy many of the same game. There's only a few that I've done that for. It's not nearly as much as you would think. And you'll see it when we do a full video of my collection one day. You'll get to see what I have, and you'll see that it's actually many unique titles. Do I think Food Chain Magnate is worth the money? Yes, very much so. I mean, that was my #1 game of the year. Obviously, I gave it a rating of 9 of my awesomeness level. And it's a good thing because now I hear Passport is going to be importing it over. And Passport, I'm curious if they're just going to do Food Chain Magnate or if they're going to do other Splotter games in the future. But I think Food Chain Magnate is very, very good. I think it's the best Splotter game there is. And I would highly recommend it to as Tom would say, I wouldn't highly recommend it to everyone. If you don't like heavy games, you're not going to like it. If you don't like games that are very, very, very deep thinking, you're not going to like it. But if you like heavy games at all, or if you want to try a heavy game, it's one of the best heavy games you'll ever try or play in your life, and I would definitely highly recommend it. How often do I play games? Per week, per month? Well, usually I play games 3 times a week, sometimes 4. On Tuesday night, we have a gaming group, the one that I game with Tom at a store called The Rock. That's where a lot of those videos that you see, the outdoor videos where I'm standing in front of the game store, that's at The Rock. We shoot videos there. On Wednesday night, I game at Cool Stuff at their Hollywood location, the Hollywood, Florida location, which is in near Fort Lauderdale, which is where I live. I live closer to Fort Lauderdale than to Miami. And I game there on Wednesday nights. Also, once a month on Saturday, we do a big game night at the Cool Stuff. We do like our 100 plus person meetup once a month. So I go there for that. And then in addition, I also game at friends' houses or at my house, usually maybe on a Thursday night, maybe on a Friday night. Some Saturdays or Sundays we get together. So like I said, probably about 3 times to 4 times every week I do gaming. When did I get into gaming and what was my gateway game? Well, I got into gaming in the 80s when I was growing up. I was born in 72. I'm 43 now, and I'll be 44 this year. And I started off when I was a kid. My parents had a lot of the Parker Brothers and Milton Bradley games, so we were playing Monopoly and Risk and Stratego, which was my first game that I fell in love with, was Stratego. I really liked it at the time with the hidden movement and, I have a bomb here, you don't know if it's a bomb. I have an 8, and the 8 can beat the bomb, and it was a really cool game, and it was my favorite game at that time. We obviously played Candyland and other games like that, but Stratego was my first game of that type. Then, when I was going through, I guess, 6th grade elementary school still and getting into junior high school, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons with some friends, and we also played some of the old Avalon Hill games like Wizard's Quest and games that kind of had that Dungeons and Dragons feel. And when I got to college, I joined it was called SARPA, the Strategy and Role Players Association at the University of Buffalo, and we played not just role-playing games, but they played board games. A lot of Avalon Hill games were popular at the time. So I was playing a lot of the Avalon Hill games, Mayfair, all the 18X titles I was playing at the time, and games like that. Road to the White House, a really good old Mayfair game. And from there, I just was playing games all the time. Diplomacy, Kingmaker, Kremlin, all those old games we used to play in college. Because what do you do in college when you're not studying? You hang out, you play games. And like I said earlier, I didn't go to bars, so instead I was playing games. And so we did that. And then, of course, 94, 95, Magic came out, and then Settlers came out. And Settlers obviously changed the face of gaming. And it went from basically old school games to modern style. And Settlers really, I remember when it first came out, and my group got it in Buffalo, and we played it 5 times in one day straight. We would play it again and again and again. Let's play another game. Let's play another game. Let's play another game. And then we bought the second copy because they had 2 different sets of colors. And then we played the peanut board where we could play 6 of us at once. And Settlers was really the game that, for me, started the Euro craze. And from there, it's been everything. I mean, Puerto Rico, everything down the line, even to today. So that's kind of how I got into gaming. That's kind of my story of gaming. Top expansions of 2015. My favorite expansion, I think, I have 2 favorite expansions. One of them is Roll for the Galaxy, the Ambition expansion with the black dice and the orange dice. I really like what they added with that. With the dice can move from one column to another. I played it last night, in fact. I had Kenny and some other people over, and we played it last night at my house. And Roll for the Galaxy, that expansion is great. Also, the Colt Express expansion, Horses and Stagecoaches, is great as well. That's another one that I really liked the game when it came out, and I really like the expansion. I think it adds a lot with the stagecoach, and you jump over the stagecoach and steal passengers from the stagecoach, and it adds a lot to the game. Those are probably my 2 favorite expansions this year. What's my thought on, I'm assuming that's 504 and not 505. My thoughts on 504. I was very excited about this going into Essen, and I was really expecting this amazing game, and I think I had my thoughts a little too high because it wasn't as amazing as I thought it was going to be. It was kind of dry and abstract. I really like the uniqueness of picking your scenario every time. I really like that. I like the flip book. I like that part of it, and I think that is one of the most unique mechanics of the year, and I still say it's one of the most unique mechanics of all time to change the rules of the game every time you play. Other than that, as Friedman even said, a lot of these scenarios weren't play tested, and some of the games are dry and bland. And so it's hard to rate a game like 504 because the concept of 504 and the flip book are really great, but the game itself, the games that you play using the flip book, are kind of boring and bland. So it wasn't my favorite game. It didn't make my top 10 as you know, if you've been watching my top 10 of 2015. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as memorable as people think in a few years. I think that it, it did okay, but it's not going to do great, I don't think. Do I collect Axis and Allies games? I have 2 of them. I have the original Axis and Allies, which I loved for years. We used to play it all the time when I was younger. And I have Axis and Allies, the D-Day version, because D-Day is one of my favorite battles of World War II, and so I have the D-Day version as well, which I really like. But I don't collect most of them. Do I like experiments like World of Yoho? Yes, Tom showed me World of Yoho, and I really liked it. Last year, I loved Alchemist. I really liked the mechanic of taking the picture with your phone and here's the two different things. I've got the eye of newt and the twig of branch, and I take the picture and it says, this is a positive blue potion. And I really like that. And I thought that was one of the most unique things and a very well done use of an app. And World of Yoho takes it to a whole different level. The fact that you actually move your phone and your phone is your piece is very cool. I need to upgrade. I have a BlackBerry, so I can't actually use my own phone in the game. So I feel like I need to switch to either an Android or an iPhone just so I can play World of Yoho with my own phone. But yes, I really, really, really like what they did with it. And I think that officially, Tom, are we calling it a 2016 release Yoho or 2015?
2016.
We're calling it 2016.
It's not out yet.
So since it's not out, my gut feeling says in 2016, World of Yoho is going to be Innovative Game of the Year. I can't imagine anything passing that in terms of innovation. So that's my feeling. But yeah, it's one that as soon as it comes out, if you guys have iPhones, you're going to want it. It's very cool and it's very, very innovative. And I like what they're doing with mobile. I think it's very good. Oh, let me just scroll down. Oh, hang on. Let me scroll down to the next question here. Okay. Do I collect HeroScape? No. Magic the Gathering, the board game, which is like HeroScape, I'm hoping to collect. The new expansion just came out, only on Amazon. I'm assuming it'll get into regular stores like Cool Stuff soon, like the other one did. Usually a month after is when it gets there, so I'm looking forward to that. And it's got the magic theme, which I think is better. Have I played Posthuman? Not yet. Looking forward to playing it. I've heard good things. What's my thought on the games we played during the marathon? Well, we're going to keep it surprise. I spoiled one game, Time's Up, but you guys had a feeling we'd do that because we've done it both years so far. Tom has a list. I'm not going to tell you what the list is. Oh, Tom posted the list. Oh, okay. Tom posted the list. In that case, we can talk about it a little bit. Here, let me pass the list over here, Tom. Just grab it. It's right there. Okay, so some of the games I'm looking forward to.
It could change. It's not set in stone.
It could change. It could change. Change could be happening, but Deception in Hong Kong. Really looking forward to it. I really like that game. I know it's just coming out as CS Files. Or no, Deception Hong Kong. CS Files was the original. Blood Rage. We haven't played the 5-player version yet, so it's going to be very cool. I've played the 5-player version. I don't think Tom and them have played it. You use the whole board. There's nothing that starts off destroyed in the 5-player version, so I think that's cool. Dr. Eureka, if you guys haven't seen this one yet, you're going to really like it. I found out I'm not as dexterous as I thought because I drop the balls all the time playing it. Fuse is another game that I really like. Spyfall, I mean, they're gonna just look at me and know that I'm the spy. We know this already when we do Spyfall. Sheriff of Nottingham, we always have a good time. And Time's Up is the one that I'm most looking forward to. And of course, Cash and Guns. I mean, Cash and Guns is great. And Tumbling Dice, it's our new conclusion game, or it's our conclusion game every year. We throw in all those D6s, D8s, D20s. We throw in the funky dice. It's not just the D6s, and it's going to be a great time. I mean, you never know. This list, if we run out of games on this, there might be other things we play. We'll see how it goes, but we're pretty much looking forward to it. Do I like dexterity games like Flick 'em Up? Yes. Flick 'em Up's not on the list, Tom. Interesting. Because he said, do you think that we'd play a game like that in the marathon? We have Catacombs as a flicking game. Maybe we could talk Tom into doing Flick 'em Up and we could lift the table. Tom's going, he's humming.
The other guys weren't as interested in that one, so that's why we're doing Catacombs.
I guess other people...
We're trying to do games everybody likes.
Yeah, we're trying to do games everybody likes. Not everyone likes Flick 'em Up. I love Flick 'em Up. Not on this surface. The felt surface, it doesn't work well on. We tried it that last time. You have to actually lift up the felt and play on the clear acrylic surface next time we do play it, though. And I like Flick 'em Up. I like Stallion Canyon as well. I like the one where you shoot it off the ramp, and I like Flick 'em Up a lot. It's one of my favorite dexterity games in recent times. Please show us your collection soon. I think we're going to do that video. We were supposed to do it last time Tom was at my house, but that was right after we saw Star Wars, and we got in back to my house at like 2 in the morning, driving back from Orlando, and then we had the gaming at the store the next morning at 10. So we woke up and we're too tired to do it, and maybe it's gonna be this month, January, or maybe February, but we'll do it soon. You'll get a nice video of my collection. I'll tell you some stories about how I picked up some of the games, and it'll be a nice little feature. Let me scroll down and get a few more questions. Do I use After Effects? Yes, I do use After Effects. After Effects, Maya, all of those programs, I use that at my work. That After Effects, for people who don't know, is kind of a motion graphic program. Do other people gang up on me when I play games? It depends on the game. Yes. If it's a game where there's attacking, people could attack me. In fact, the last time I played Blood Rage, I sat down and everyone's like, Jason's going to do well, let's attack him. So all I did was take Loki cards, so every time I got attacked, I would get points. So that's another reason why Blood Rage is one of my favorite games of this year, is because you could be the person who gets attacked all the time and still do well. And in fact, I won that game because I would have 8 guys in Valhalla every time, and I would get a point for it, then 3 points for it, and I got the cards where you get points for guys out of Valhalla, and I was doing very well by getting beat up. But in some games, when you get beat up, you have to work really hard to try to catch up. And yeah, there's a lot of times where people will beat on me because they know that I'm a stronger player, but I don't mind it, as long as we're all having fun. That's the whole point of gaming, and I don't mind that at all, because to me, everything's about having fun, and having fun when you play games. What percentage of my collection is awesome? I would say, realistically, 65 to 70%. I have a lot of games that aren't awesome, but I've kept them. Maybe one day after we do the Guinness thing that we're talking about, maybe I'll have a Jason board game sale, and we'll sell some of my games out of my collection to other people who might be interested in buying them. I don't know if you guys would be interested or not, but if you are, just write some comments here and say, hey, you'd be interested in buying some of Jason's old game collection, and maybe we'll do something like that one day. We'll figure it out. But I'd say at least 65 to 70% of the games are awesome, and I like most games. There's a lot of games that I don't like also. When you see some of our reviews this year, you'll see that there's games that I don't like as well as games that I do like, and I do vary. Not everything is a 10 and not everything's a 1. I do have games that are in the middle, and you'll see more of it as I do more and more reviews. What would I like to do on the Dice Tower aside from what I already do? Just more. I mean,
Run it.
What?
Run it.
Run it. Oh yeah. Tom just said in the background, run it. No. I don't want to run it. But just more of the same. Whenever we come up with cool ideas, just be a part. To me, it's like just being a part of it is good. The more I could give to Tom, the more videos I give to him, and help with the contributions I'm happy with, and just more. And hopefully, as I do more, I get better. I mean, I'm starting to do some reviews now, and hopefully I'll get better and better at them. I think, well, you guys tell me, did you like my video blogs from all the conventions? I'm going to do more of them in 2016, and that's kind of what I'm doing, is just more of the same and hopefully better. Next time we go to conventions, hopefully more designer interviews, even stronger ones than I did the last time at Essen, more video blogs, some more reviews, be involved with live plays and stuff and things like that. Where do I keep the Emmy? You've seen video clips of me winning it. The video clip, believe it or not, is not of me winning. We didn't win that year, but that was a long time ago. That was in 1997 or 98. That video, that was the first time I ever got nominated for an Emmy. It was a long time ago in my career, and we were very excited because it was our first time going to a big show, and we were excited. We didn't win that year, but it was still exciting to get to go. But I do have Emmys. I've won 3. I only have one that I actually purchased, because you don't just get the Emmy. Like, they give you a generic thing, but then you actually have to purchase your Emmy. And the first 2 I didn't purchase because I didn't have the money at the time. I wasn't quite making the money that I make now, so I never purchased them at the time. But the third one that I got when I was working at ABC in like 2000, I want to say 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. We got one, and that one I actually purchased, and I have it sitting in my house. I have a little table, and it's sitting on a display with a little light that shines down, and it's kind of cool. Maybe we'll do a little bit more of my house than just the game collection. I don't know. We'll see when we shoot stuff in my house. You guys will get an idea of me when we do that. What would be a next good step to get into Euros after Stone Age? Well, my personal recommendation, and it was my, I think, number 2 game of all time. I think it's my number 2 of all time. I have to look. It's in my top 5 for sure, is Puerto Rico. I think Puerto Rico is the next step. Stone Age has the randomness of rolling the dice, where, as I say, pips are points, because if you roll lots of 6s, you do a lot better than someone who rolls lots of 1s. And it has the randomness, but Puerto Rico eliminates the randomness, and Puerto Rico is a completely skill-based Euro game, and I would say Puerto Rico is probably a good next step after Stone Age. Do I secretly love being the traitor when I'm dealt cards? Well, I was laughing because in Spyfall, every time I would take my card, I pretend to look at it extra long when we live played it last year, and I was like, I'm the spy again. I hope they don't figure it out this time and I can actually win one. and I think I won one of them when I was the spy. The rest of them I didn't. But no, it's fun being the traitor. It's more fun trying to be the traitor than it is being a regular player. I do feel that, but being the regular player is fun too, because you're trying to guess who the spy is. I like both. I try to be just as boisterous. I'm usually more boisterous when I'm not the traitor, because I'm trying to say, well, he's doing this and he's doing this and he's doing that. When I'm the traitor, I'm more I try to do that to throw people off, but I don't do it as well. So but I like both. What percentage of my games are unopened? Maybe 30 to 40%. And the only reason they're unopened, like I said earlier, is because I might have played the game with Tom with his copy, with his review copy, and then I bought a copy myself from Cool Stuff, and until someone wants to play it at my house, it stays shrink wrapped at my house, because I figure, what's the point of punching the games right away when I've already played the copy? If someone says, oh, we really want to play that game, then I'll open it up, like we opened up my copy of Blood Rage. We opened it up at my house yesterday. Even though I hadn't opened my copy yet, we finally opened it yesterday. So yeah, it's not that I don't open the games, or it's not that I'm collecting games as shrink wrap. It's just when I get a game, because I usually end up going to Cool Stuff and getting about 15 to 20 games at once, because I have an order, and I go there once a week and pick up my games usually when they ship, and I just kind of don't want to have to open 15 games and go through all the work of punching them all at once. I kind of punch games as they get played at my house, so they open up slowly. Have I ever played a good version of Monopoly? No. How was New Year's Eve? Well, we almost periscoped. We didn't. But we shot off some fireworks. Tom loves to shoot fireworks every year, and I came down. I was helping him with the fireworks, and we had a blast. And yes, pun intended, we had a blast. And it was a great night. You know, it was good food, good company, and fireworks are amazing. So it was a great time. And you know, maybe next year we'll send out some live videos from it if we remember, so you can see some of the fireworks going off. How do I prepare to teach a game to a group when it's my first time? Well, I try to read the rules ahead of time. I do the opposite of Tom. Tom likes to read the rules right on the spot. I try to read the rules ahead of time on a complex game to make sure I understand the rules, and then I kind of go through the rule book one by one to make sure everyone understands. And you might take, like Food Chain Magnate took about 30 minutes the first time to go through all the rules. But it's better to go through all the rules than to kind of go through the rules half and then have someone say, oh, I don't understand this. I'd rather go through everything and be thorough with the rules to make sure everyone understands it, so everyone's kind of on the same page when we do it. Best economic business game. Well, Food Chain Magnate might now be, I don't know if it's quite economic business, but it's pretty much up there. 18X, 1830, all of those which are economic games, They have stock markets and everything. The 18X is still my favorite economic or business game. The other guys don't seem to enjoy Mage Knight. How about you? Would it be a top 500 game? Yes, it is. It is. I like Mage Knight. I've played it, I think, 6 times. Yeah, about 6 times. We had some guys who used to play it all the time in our group who don't come to our group as much. And so I haven't played it since then. But I know there's a new Star Trek version of it coming out, which I'm really looking forward to as well. Maybe with the new theming, people will like it more. But the Star Trek version, I think, is going to be kind of cool. I forget what it's called. What's it called? Star Trek Frontiers, or what's it called?
I think it's Star Trek Frontiers.
Yeah, we think it's Star Trek Frontiers. Tom's going to look that up, and we'll see. What's a good game? Star Trek Frontiers. So that's coming out soon. I think it'll be... Hopefully the theme will get more people into the Mage Knight kind of... It's sort of like, not really a dungeon crawl, but it's sort of dungeon crawl-y, but it's got a much more game to it than just rolling dice. I like it. What's a good gateway strategy game? Personally, like, my gateway strategy games are, if you're looking for gateway games, I like St. Petersburg a lot for a gateway game. I like Ticket to Ride for a gateway game. I know they're not the heaviest on strategy, but they're good gateway games, and those are 2 that I'd recommend, Ticket to Ride and St. Petersburg. What games would you most want to get Tom to play with you that you think he'd genuinely like? I would say 1830, but I know he doesn't like that. But realistically, there's a game that I want him to play with me that we've joked about over the years, and I think he would like it, and that's Aliens, the old Leading Edge game, because it is a dungeon crawl, and the aliens come out in swarms just like the movie, and it really feels like the movie Aliens, and I'm hoping I can get him to play that one day. I don't know if that Kabuki Kid's here, but Kabuki Kid's been pushing for me to do that with Tom too, so there you go. Aliens is the one I'd like to get Tom to play, and I think he would like it. Was I worried that Tom would die of embarrassment when I did the designer spotlight? No, I told him I was going to do him as the designer spotlight. I didn't tell him I was going to talk about him as a person, and I just want to do that as a New Year's thing because, you know, like I said, we do a lot together. We do a lot outside of gaming too, and he's an important person in my life. So, you know, why wouldn't I salute him and highlight him as part of that? I think it was nice, and I think he liked it. Did you like it, Tom? My designer spotlight of you.
It was very nice.
He said it was very nice. So yeah, no, it was a good thing. And you know, it's nice. It's nice when you could show your appreciation for things, and I like showing my appreciation when I get a chance. Was I a collector of anything not board gaming before I got into the hobby? Comics, books, coins, etc. DVDs, and VHS. As Tom knows, there was lots of boxes of VHS, and they were laughing at me. Why do you have these boxes that say VHS, and why are you bringing them down to Florida? But I collect a lot of movies, DVDs, also video games. I have a big collection of video games. I still have old Nintendo NES games. I still have my old Nintendo NES. I had an Intellivision back in the day. I had an Atari. I have many PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, the Wii, the Nintendo DS. I'm a big video game collector. Not as much anymore because, I don't know, now that I have a lot of people to socialize with, I don't play as much video games as I used to. I mean, I do have a PlayStation 4, and I pick up a few games, but I'm not picking up every game like I used to do. But I still, video games and DVDs, movies are the other 2 things that I collect. Do I think of myself as a gaming pioneer and getting other people interested in the hobby? Well, I don't think of myself as that. You know, I feel like what we do here at the Dice Tower is we kind of are giving our passion and showing our passion of games. And when we show our passion, hopefully other people will be excited and feel passion for the games too and get into it. So I don't feel like a pioneer so much, but I like that we're able to show our passion and that people appreciate the passion we show for the games, which leads to more people wanting to play games. And I think it's a good thing. You know, I'm glad that we can be kind of a voice of the gaming industry and, you know, hopefully give good opinions on what's good and bad and everything. What do I think about German railroads? I liked it a lot. I liked Russian Railroads a lot, and I think the expansion is very good. I like that the boards aren't the same and that you don't just follow one strategy anymore. The fact that you get to pick how your railroad track board is and you get little pieces to put on there is very cool, and everyone could do different things. We played it once so far, and I thought that I was doing a really good strategy. I was all excited because I had all my workers out, and I lost by like 40 or 50 points. So it's cool because I thought my strategy was the best and I realized it wasn't the best. And it's cool when you see that your strategy isn't the best too. I mean, I know Tom always jokes with me that I'm like, well, I found the perfect strategy and I'm going to win this game. And I try to find the perfect. But when you think you found the perfect and then you find out that it's not quite so perfect, it's also just as cool. And you're like, oh, wow, that thing that they did was even better. And I like that just as much. Ever think of having a con in New York City? I don't think that the cost would justify a convention in New York City. I know the closest thing, there used to be a convention in Long Island. I don't know if it still exists, but there used to be one in Long Island. The thing is, New York City, the hotel rental, the hotel prices, everything else would be so expensive that a lot of people wouldn't come because it would be out of most people's price range. So I don't think New York City would ever have a successful convention the same style that we have, like how Dice Tower Con, we sold out 1,500 tickets in 9 minutes, and I don't think that would happen if it was in New York City. I like where we have it. I like Orlando, and I think that it's a better place to do something is somewhere like that. Would I quit my job to become a full-timer on the Dice Tower? Not at the moment. Me and Tom have actually had this discussion. Not at the moment, because I do make a very, very, very good salary. Down the road, after I pay off my mortgage on my house and have less demand on my money, then I could see myself doing it full time. Right now I'm helping out part time as much as I can, and maybe one day when I don't have financial responsibilities like a mortgage, then I could think about it.
You can talk about the Kickstarter thing now.
Oh yeah, we could talk about the Kickstarter. So we have a stretch goal. It's 170,000 where I'm going to do part-time editing as well. So I'm going to start editing videos for the Dice Tower, so it'll relieve Tom and Sam and Z of some of the editing work. So hopefully you guys contribute, and then I'll help edit as much as I can on my rest of my time besides my work hours. So yes. I will be theoretically part-time on the Dice Tower. Full-time maybe down the road, but definitely part-time this year, assuming that you guys want me, and you'll so we're looking forward to watching the Kickstarter tick up and up and up, and it'll be nice to get to do more. And that's one of the things that I didn't mention because I thought we were keeping it secret because we haven't posted it, but since Tom said to mention it, yes.
It's going up tomorrow.
Okay, since 2
days, I mean.
Since the Kickstarter is going up on Monday, Tom said I can mention it. But yes, one of the stretch goals, one of the higher stretch goals, because obviously Tom needs to have a certain amount of money for Sam and Z and everyone first. But one of the higher stretch goals would be for me to do some of the editing, and I'll do full, my brain is fried right now. Final Cut. I'll be doing Final Cut editing and everything, and putting together some of the videos.
Motion.
And doing Motion. It's a program where you could add some little simple graphics to it. So I'll be doing that as well. What are some of my favorite games from CGE? Codenames, Prodigal's Club, Last Will, Through the Ages. There's so many. Check Games is a great company, and it's a game. Check Games is a great company. It's a company that I have enjoyed playing their games very much, and I'm looking forward to I look forward to almost every game they do. I really like Vlada, and I like the other games that he's done that aren't his games that he's published as well, and I hope that they keep having continued success. Where did I game in New York City? I would game at the Complete Strategist when they had their Saturday gaming. Also, I gamed on Long Island. If you look up Li-Gamers, which is Long Island Gamers, you'll find a group there. When I was there for Thanksgiving, I went out. I took Emerson, Emerson, Spectre Ops Emerson. I took him out to my game group in Long Island, and he played there. What game stores do I recommend in New York City? Well, the Complete Strategist, other than they do sell everything for MSRP because the rents are so high in New York that they don't discount their games, but they do have a very good selection. It's one of the best selections in the whole country that I've ever seen. And I would highly recommend going to the Complete Strategist. It's on 34th Street. Actually, it's on 33rd Street. It's right near the Empire State Building. You go you take where Fifth Avenue is, you go across Fifth Avenue to going towards Madison and Lexington in that area, and it's right across Fifth, and you'll see it. It's a little store, but it has a lot packed in that store. What games do I play with my nieces and nephews? I seem like a good uncle to them. We play everything, you know. They have Candyland, they have My Princess Party, or whatever it's called, My Princess Party, the one where you get the crown and you get the bracelet and you get the necklace and you get the earrings. And yes, I actually put them on. Oh, Pretty Princess, that's the name of it. Pretty Princess, I played that with them. And then of course I've been trying to get them into, now that they're a little older, now that they're 8 and 6 now, and the little one's 3, but now that they're a little bit older, I've been trying to get them. I got my first Carcassonne for them. I got my first Bonanza for them. So I've been getting a lot of little games for them, and I love playing games with them. You know, every time I go over, they're excited. They want to play games. They're good, and it's great to you know, have, you know, nieces and nephews who adore what I do. You know, whenever I bring something for them, they always love it. And they're like, we want to try it, and we'll play like 2 or 3 times the same game in a row, and it's great. You know, I love kids, and I love my niece and nephew, and it's nice to be able to play stuff with them. Do I like legacy games? I don't mind them. I got nervous when we were ripping up cards and stuff, but you know, after a while, it's like, okay, this is the way we're playing Pandemic Legacy, and yeah, so I did like it. I did enjoy the experience. It was one of my best experiences of this year, and it was a difficult but interesting time. I'm thinking, Tom, that we still have that. We still have the Pandemic Legacy somewhere, right? Tom,
it's in one of those boxes.
It's in one of the boxes. I'm almost thinking maybe next year we should put up our copy on the Jack Vassal Fund, because that would be a good auction, and people could get the played copy that the Dice Tower used on the live show.
That interesting, but
Tom doesn't think it's that interesting, but you know, what do you guys think? Would you want to see that in the Jack Vassal? Hopefully, it will get some good money for the Jack Vassal Fund, which is an important thing. Cthulhu Wars. Do I own it? No, I don't. I said about Cthulhu Wars, it's a good game. I think it's a very good game. I don't think all the powers are balanced. I know every power is overpowered, so they're all unbalanced, but they balance each other, is what people say. If they made a smaller edition, I don't need excessive minis, and I would rather see a $70 Cthulhu Wars than a $200 Cthulhu Wars, and then I would buy it instantly. But a $200 version isn't appealing to me. It's not the kind of game that's so collector's worthy that I would want it as a collector's edition. But I'm hoping that one day Sandy changes his mind and decides to make a like $70 version of it. Seven Wonders Duel. I like it and I enjoy it very much. And it's not as good as Seven Wonders. I like the drafting a little better than the, I guess, what you call the Mahjong style, the pyramid style. But I do like it a lot. I think it's a good, worthy 2-player version. I think it's better than the 2-player version that's in the original Seven Wonders. So I think that Bruno, working with Antoine, did a really good job, and they made a better version than the original 2-player version. What's my most expensive game? I have 2 now. I had 1, but now I have 2. And my most expensive games are the War of the Ring Collector's Edition and now Small World Collector's Edition. Obviously, they're crazy collector's editions that go for $1,000, $2,000 on Board Game Geek and eBay. I would never ever sell them, and I didn't pay those kind of prices. I bought them for their original prices, but those are my 2 most expensive games, and I kind of showcase them. I'm showcasing them near I just got a Geek Chic table, and I'm showcasing them near my Geek Chic table on a little display thing, so they're kind of out there so people see them when I play games. Who's my favorite designer? Stefan Feld, I think. I really like his games. I really like what he does. I'm looking forward to the new Olympus-style game that he was talking about when I talked to them at Essen, and I can't wait to see what he does next. I mean, I like how he changes his mechanics for almost every game and does a unique new mechanic on every game he does, and they're all good mechanics. So, Yeah, Stefan Feld's probably my favorite designer. Am I going to force any games for the game marathon next week? No. Tom's made the list. Tom said, don't start plugging games in, so I'm not going to plug games in. Because if I came and said, oh, by the way, here's 1830 and plopped on the table, Tom would probably hit me. So, no, I'm not going to force any games. We all kind of agree on most of the games anyway. So, we want to play games that everyone's going to have a fun time with. And a lot of games I like, I know that either Tom might not like it, or Sam, or Z, or Eric might not like it. Because I even said to Tom, I said, maybe we could do Merchant of Venus for Eric. And he said, no, Sam and Z won't like that one. So, yeah, we want to do stuff that all of us in the group are going to like, so we're having a good time. So you guys have a good time watching us have a good time. Because that's what the key is for the marathon, is everyone having a good time. Have I ever loved a game that I introduced to Tom, Sam, and Z to have them not like it? Yes. There's a game called Yunnan, which I really like, which is a light Euro. And even though I don't know if they think it's light or not, Sam and Z hated it. I don't know why, because Yunnan I think is a great game. It's by Argentum, and I think it's a great game. Tom hasn't played it yet, so I don't know if Tom likes it or not, but Sam and Z both didn't like it. So yes. What are some of the easiest heavy Euros to get into? I think the easiest heavy Euros is Puerto Rico. I mean, I think Puerto Rico is pretty, well, Princes of Florence is another one, but I don't know if they're easy to get into because they take a learning curve to play them, but I don't think any heavy Euros are easy, but after you've played enough of them, then you understand how to do heavy Euros, and they become easier and easier as you go, I think is the best way to describe heavy Euros. But once you've played 3 or 4 heavy Euros, you kind of get the feel of how heavy Euros work, and then they're much easier to play. So I don't know what's the easiest, but I would say a good starting point would be Puerto Rico. I still think it's the best Euro out there, and I think it would be a good starting point for most people. What Star Wars games did I play before watching Force Awakens? Well, I played X-Wing with the new ships, with the new X-Wing and the new TIE Fighter ships. I played Star Wars Risk a few times, which of course I guess was the end of Return of the Jedi, so it psyched me up for it. But I didn't play a lot. I watched the whole movies. I watched all 6 movies in a row. The week leading up to it, I watched 1 movie a night for 6 nights. So I started with Phantom Menace and went all the way to Return of the Jedi to get myself psyched. And then I saw the movie 2 times in a row. I saw it on Thursday night, opening night, and I saw it on Friday night when we went to and on Thursday night, it was cool because I saw it in a D-Box theater, which are those seats that shake in 3D and shaking seats with Kenny, and we loved it. And then I saw it the next day in Orlando with Tom and the Cool Stuff guys brought us out there, and Sam and Z and all their families. And the whole time I wanted to say, you guys are going to love this. This is awesome. The best movie of the year. But I was very quiet about it. And I didn't say anything until afterwards. And then I asked him, what did you think? What did you think? What did you think? And I'm so glad it's doing well. You know, it's already made, $650 million in 14 days. And it's, which means more and more Star Wars are going to come out, which I'm so excited about because I love Star Wars and I thought it was a great movie. So that answers the question about what was my thoughts on it too. I absolutely loved it. No, it's not perfect. No movie's perfect, but I absolutely loved it. It was a wild ride and it was fun. I've seen it twice and I'm planning to see it again next week as well. So I'll see it at least 3 times so far coming up. Do I seek out any particular game at conventions to play? Usually, when we're at our conventions like Essen, Gen Con, there's not much time to play games. Usually the only games we play are when we do the Kickstarter, where people can play games with us in the Kickstarter, or we might play a game at night afterwards, but we're usually so tired from a day of working that we don't play a lot of games at those conventions. Well, at WBC, I like to play games that I haven't played in a while. I like to play some long games. I mean, some of the games I like Formula D, I play a lot. Puerto Rico, I play a lot. Liar's Dice, the one that I run there, has like 200-300 people all show up to play Liar's Dice at once. And those are the games that I play a lot. I like to play long games. I play Civ at conventions. I'll play longer things. If people want to play Mega Civ, I know someone asked about that. Mega Civ is in the Dice Tower library, in the Dice Tower Con library. So if someone wants to organize Mega Civ, maybe we'll do Mega Civ one of the days at Dice Tower Con. I mean, I don't mind playing a long game when I can just relax and play games as long as it doesn't interfere with the other things we have to do, like live game shows and stuff. I'm definitely willing to play a game like that. Do I need another hour for the live Q&A? That's up to Tom how long we go, but I'll stay on as long as Tom lets me stay on to keep answering your questions. So
Not too much longer, but
not too much longer. Yeah, I have a list also, which we'll discuss some of it shortly. What's my favorite genre? I like them all. I mean, I like trading in the Mediterranean. I like space. I like everything. To me, it's the mechanics more than the theme, except when it comes to Star Wars. When it's Star Wars, I like the theme, and I buy everything Star Wars because it's Star Wars. But everything else, I don't care what the theme is. If it's got good mechanics, to me, that's important. Have you ever played Magic Realm? Yes. Magic Realm was kind of a role-playing / dungeon crawl / that. It's not that good of a game. It gets this reputation because it was the first dungeon crawly kind of game where you kind of built the map as you went. There were tiles that built it up, but it's not that good of a game, believe it or not. The old Avalon Hill game, and other games, Imperial Assault or games like that are much more modern, I guess, if you want to look for things like that. What's my favorite game? Watch his top 100 list. It's 1830 is my favorite game of all time. Puerto Rico is my number 2, and Diplomacy is my number 3. But yeah, Andrew, you should watch my top 100 list. There's a whole bunch of games that you might not have heard of before that you'll see that are all very good games. So definitely watch that if you want to see more about my favorite games. What's my opinion on board game cafes? I absolutely love them. I think they're better than board game stores because board game stores, and it's kind of funny with the whole Asmodee North America controversy, we'll call it, is that I would rather go to a place and just play games, relax. We went to a board game cafe when we played with Rich Sommer and Will Wheaton and Jorge Garcia. Me and Tom we went to this cafe. What was the name of the cafe, Tom? The one in California.
I forget now.
Game House Cafe.
Yes, H-U-A-U-S.
Yes, Game House Cafe. And it was great because they had a board game collection, but they weren't hawking their games. It wasn't like, buy a game or get out of here, which the old store here in Florida, the old store which we don't go to, used to do that. And it used to be like, if you don't buy a game, you can't come back and play games here. And you don't want to have to feel obligated to buy something every time you go in. But I liked that they had their little game library and they were selling food. I was much happier with them hawking food because it's like, well, we have to eat anyway. And I don't mind buying food every time and supporting a store in that way of buying food. And, if they can do successful selling their food, then that's great because it's a place for people to congregate and play games and you get good meals there. And I absolutely loved it. And I would love if they opened up one here in Florida as well. I mean, I think that would be great if we opened one up here in Florida. So yeah, that would be it's definitely something that I can see as the future. Not so much gaming stores anymore now that there's so much online sales of games, but I think gaming cafes is the next stage of gaming is what I think, and I think it's great and it's very cozy and it's very nice, and I hope that more and more open up when they're successful. They joked that Tom and the guys joke about that you don't watch the Dice Tower videos. Is this still true? No, I watch the Dice Tower videos. Tom joked that I only watch my own segments on the Dice Tower videos, but I actually watch a lot more than he thinks. So Eric's the one who doesn't watch, as you saw from Gen Con when we did some of our inside jokes and Eric had no idea what was going on. But no, I watch a good amount. I watch the whole Board Game Breakfast, the whole Board Game Blender every time. I watch some of Tom's reviews when there are games that I haven't played with him that I'm curious about. And yeah, I watch a decent amount. What grand historical strategy game would I recommend, but not just a mere war game? But they're all war games. Most of the historical strategy games are war games. Breakout Normandy is a very good one about the D-Day invasion. Obviously, Hannibal, Rome versus Carthage is a great one. But yeah, I like a lot of grand historical games. Would I ever design a game? No. I don't mind playtesting, but no, I'm not planning to be a designer. Have I ever tipped the table? No. I will, even if the game stinks, I will play it to conclusion. Tom every once in a while goes, are we sure we want to continue this? And if he really doesn't, I see he doesn't, I see everyone else doesn't, I'll be like, sure, let's end it. But even games that are bad, and I think we're going to have a review of a bad one coming up soon. Even games that are bad, I will finish the game. I'll be like, wow, I hope this game ends quickly. And when we have a slow player playing, I'll be like, please play your turns quickly so we can end this game, but I will still play it to conclusion. Mombasa or Food Chain Magnate? Food Chain Magnate. I loved Mombasa too, don't get me wrong. They were both in my top 10, but Food Chain Magnate is one of those games that I think is going to stand the test of time. Dragon Slayer, I said your name, there you go. What do I think of Through the Ages? I love Through the Ages. I haven't played the new one. I actually talked with Rick from Eagle, and he said he was going to send me a copy so I could do a comparison of Through the Ages, the old one, and Through the Ages, the new one, because Through the Ages is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it was my number 5 in my top 100. So that's one that I'm looking forward to seeing what changes they made, how they simplified some of the war mechanics from what I understand. I'm very looking forward to it. I'm going to go quickly through questions because then I have a quick list. So let me just blast a few out quickly. Do I like IP games or original games? I like original games better. IP, like I said, only Star Wars. Do I back stuff on Kickstarter? No, I'm not a fan of paying for a game a year in advance. I'd rather buy the game when it's out. And I don't like the Kickstarter extras, even though they obviously only the Kickstarter people get them, but I don't like exclusivity. I'm hoping more people go to GMT's P500 for that in the future, because the P500 is great. They only charge you when they're going to print, and I think that's a better way to charge people. X-Wing, D&D, Attack Wing, or Armada? X-Wing, because the ships are the coolest. DR Congo, we haven't gotten it here yet. I've heard good things about it. I think Ragnar Brothers are going to send it here because it's going to be sold through Cool Stuff exclusively from what I understand. So I'm assuming DR Congo will show up here at some point. Thank you, Root, for giving me all the good comments. I know you always comment on a lot of my videos. Thank you for being a fan, and don't worry, I'll do a lot more good things in the future. When I played D&D, my biggest character I ever played was a paladin. I was a lawful good paladin. I wasn't the chaotic evil dwarf. I was the lawful good paladin. Will I be attending WBC? Yes, I will. And in fact, at WBC, I will be doing, in the Kickstarter, we'll have Play a Game with Jason as well. So if you want to specifically play a game with me, that'll be one of the Kickstarter things for WBC. Star Wars Risk, don't like it as much as Queen's Gambit, but it's still good. My con videos are fun. Any plans on further solo videos? Yeah, we'll come up with ideas this year, and there'll be more things that I'm going to do. Time's Up was hilarious. Looking forward to the next one. Yes, we're looking forward to it too. The people who we played Blood Rage with are saying how I destroyed them in that game. And yes, their whole plan was to beat me up, and they didn't realize that you could get beat up and still win. What game am I bad at? Lost Cities. No matter how many times I played Lost Cities, I never win that game. I don't know why. I'm just not good at figuring out when I play a card down or when I don't play a card down. I don't think I've ever won. So if you want to beat me, come play Lost Cities with me, and you will beat me every time, I think. Code names. I know Sam and Z don't like code names. That's the reason we're not going to do code names on the live show, because neither one of them like it. I love it. I had said we should do it, but Tom agrees, and I agree. Since it's not Sam and Z's favorite game, it's not something we should do because it might not have a good atmosphere.
There's a small possibility it will happen.
But Tom's saying there's a small possibility it happens, so you guys could play at home. So it might show up, but right now it's not on the list. Guilty pleasure games. Well, when you see my collection, I have some interesting ones. I have, just like Eric, I have Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I have Charmed, the Tilsit game. I have Saved by the Bell, the game. So yeah, I have some guilty pleasure games of TV shows. After I just made fun of that Guinness guy with the TV shows. Let me quickly wrap up. So Dice Masters extra stuff, we gave them away. My extra cards and stuff, we gave them away at Dice Tower Con last year. We're going to do the same thing this year with the extras. We're going to give them away at Dice Tower Con. So there'll be plenty of extras. I think if we do a Dice Master Showdown, we'll give it out there. But quickly, some of my top experiences. I'm going to my list now. some of my top experiences from this year. Obviously, doing reviews and being part of this, doing Q&A, doing everything for the Dice Tower. That's been an amazing experience. Our singing live show. I don't know if you guys saw the video for that, but the singing live show was absolutely fun, and I don't know if Tom will ever let me sing again.
You swore you wouldn't.
He swore I wouldn't.
No,
so
you swore you wouldn't too.
I swore I wouldn't. We both swore I wouldn't. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll see how it goes. Bruno Cathala. Bruno Cathala is one of the most amazing people. When we were at Gen Con, he signed some stuff that I brought to WBC because I ran the 5 Tribes tournament, and what he did is he signed a 5 Tribes special promotional card and signed it, congratulations to the winner, and we gave it to the winner. It was such a nice thing. Codenames, playing with everyone, playing with Rodney, playing with Josh, playing with the French people. I know Z told the story on his top 10 experiences, but playing with the French people, especially one of our favorite French people, Piero. Absolutely love Piero, and thanks for getting us involved in that game, and a French and English version together of Codenames. And one of the people we played with there, which Z didn't mention, was the designer of Time Stories, was one of the people who played with us that night as well, and we had such a blast. My designer interviews and my video blogs, I mean, the fact that you guys watched them and enjoyed them and loved them means a lot to me, and I plan to give you more of that in the future. Our Kickstarter dinners, now the Kickstarter is coming up, we always have a blast at these Kickstarter dinners. We always have a good time with everyone who comes to them, and you get a chance to spend personal time with us where it's not about games, where it's just hanging out, having a good time, talking about everything. And the one that I recommend the most, which I always think is my favorite, is we go to the Disney Polynesian every year and have dinner at Ohana, and we always do it at the nighttime, and we also see the fireworks from Disney every year. So they play the music in the Ohana restaurant, and you can watch the fireworks, and it's an incredible experience watching the Disney fireworks and having dinner. And this year, one of the guys who came with us actually brought Ignacy's book, the book that we have at the Jack Vassal Memorial. He brought Ignacy's book, the book where all the designers wrote a page about how to have a secret strategy in their game, and we were shocked that Ignacy's book was there, and we were amazed, and we were like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever to see Ignacy's book in person one time in our life, because I don't think we're ever going to see that book again, because it's been passing around the world, and it went back in the Jack Vassal auction and went to someone else. But if you're the person out there watching this and you have that book, please bring it to something that we're at, because we'd love to see it again, and I would definitely throw it in my vlog this time if I saw it. Pandemic Legacy, what can I say? We spent like 2 weeks here playing it, I think. We did it over a 2-week time frame. The first day and night, we played like 6 games in a row, and then we played 2 at a time after that. And just bonding with Tom, Sam, and Z was incredible. Loved it. The Dice Master Showdown, which was bonding with Tom, well, not bonding because he only wanted Iceman, and I wanted a complete strategy, and we laughed about it afterwards, and we had a blast, and playing against Eric and Mike was incredible. But the thing that I was talking about, Tom, is my favorite thing of the year was just being at Essen and getting to meet the people at Essen. There were some really good people there. There was this guy, Johnny, and I know at the time he's like, did you get my cake? And I didn't read his note at the time, so I didn't understand what he was talking about. I'm like, I got a bunch of cakes. I'm assuming I got yours, but Johnny, I did get your cake, and I did read your note, and that was a wonderful note, and I'm so thankful that you like what we do, and I just want to send my appreciation to you. There was also this couple from Israel that were super nice, and you know, I'm Jewish, so it was nice to talk with a couple from Israel who invited me to stay with them if I ever came out there, which was very nice. There was also this girl from Colombia who said she was my biggest fan, and it was nice to know that I had a fan, other than seeing comments on the internet to know I had a real fan, and it was nice. And then she even commented later, because she was in one of the videos or something, and I even saw her comment in a video saying, yes, I am his biggest fan. So it was nice to have a big fan, and then just the food and gifts. I mean, everyone at Essen was so nice. You guys showered us with food and gifts. We brought home a whole suitcase worth of food and gifts, and it was just overwhelming to see the love and support from everyone in Europe. I know we see it a lot here in America because we do a lot more things in America, but to see that love and support from Europe really meant a lot. And all of you guys in Europe, we love you, and we can't wait to come back next year to Essen and join you for another couple days of games and fun. So I think that's it for questions for today. I'm guessing at some point I'll do more of these, or we'll do ones with Tom or something. So there'll be more of these in the future. But hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will definitely talk to you all soon, and hope that everyone had a happy new year, and look forward to our next thing, which is our Kickstarter and then our live gaming marathon. And here's Tom to join in at the very end.
To shut it down.
We're here. We're going to come shut it down. Do you have anything to add?
No, the Kickstarter Monday. Kickstarter Monday. Monday is our Kickstarter. Jason and me will be doing some reviews together. You'll probably see a couple of those come next week too. And that live gaming thing, that's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a really good week. This is going to be one of our best weeks of the year. I mean, I think the Kickstarter is going to do well. Tom always gets nervous, but I think it's going to do very well, and we love your support. I mean, the fact that you guys support us so much is so great, and
I never assume anything.
I love you guys. I love all the support, and you know.
Yeah, I said that at the wrong moment, but I don't assume the Kickstarter will do well. We'll see. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll have Jason on again for sure. Until next time, it's you. I wasn't even in this video.
It's Jason Levine, the gaming machine.
The dungeon. What was that?